Good morning, beautiful souls. Happy Friday. Tim by the sea. So I can't call it the Woodland Chronicles this morning. This is the Stormy Seas Chronicles. And the tide is coming in a bit, so I'm gonna make sure that I don't get hit by a wave coming in, although that would certainly have a bit of comedy value. So yeah, here we are. Got a few things I want to talk about this morning because obviously the year is marching on already. The next date that we're looking at is the spring equinox, and it's not far away. Or obviously it's the autumn equinox if you are in the southern hemisphere. But there's an incredible thread that's moving through all that is occurring at the moment. And although you personally and all of us collectively might be experiencing what we would only describe as turbulence, the turbulence is coming out of the TV, it's being projected from the people around us. It seems to be occurring everywhere. There is a sphere of reality which is revealing itself, and the frequency that is attached to it at a fifth dimensional level is almost disarmingly pure and calm and clear. And that's the vibration of truth. Now, I've spoken about truth before, and I expect in years to come, all of us that create content or have made kind of like a teaching format of anything that's occurred within this period, this transition from 3D to 5D, will look back and go, well, that was an interesting analysis of the energies. They actually aren't anything like that. So we're attempting to almost justify and understand fifth dimensional energies and frequencies before we are fully immersed completely on a permanent level in that reality. So we get glimmers, we get snippets, we get pockets of information, and we get revelations, and they are often very beautiful, or in some cases they can be beautiful but very, very hard, as adopting these new frequencies and levels of consciousness inevitably can be. But one thing that I'm seeing at the moment is, and this is what, and we predicted it, we knew it was coming, is the revelation of truth within our reality. Now, for the last 3 years or so, truth it's almost like it's had to take a certain format, or people have chosen to project their version of truth in whatever way they are feeling, what the emotional charge is behind it. So obviously when we first went into the lockdown scenarios in 2020, that was when the first kind of big upsurge of, and I've I look back on those old videos with quite a lot of interest, the two groups that we were divided into, the truthers and the love and lighters. And although both groups need each other like deserts need the rain kind of thing, because one can't, the whole thing can't exist without each other. They're very much in opposition. And that version of angry truth, or truth shouted from the rooftops, or projected truth, has become a bit of a cliche recently. And it's almost as if, unless the emotion behind it is based in love, that version of truth holds a different kind of perspective of reality. So what I'm seeing at the moment, and what many of you might be picking up on, is the fact that when a 5D truth reveals itself, the vibration of it is so subtle that we can barely notice its state of reality. We barely notice it's there. It just happens. It is. Okay? Now, this is going to be the case with many of the other fifth dimensional energies that we are integrating, that we are actualizing, that we are shining outwards. There's no huge fanfare with these energies. Okay? There's no kind of great big shining sparkly banner with fireworks. The vibration, the fifth dimensional vibrations, the heart-centered vibrations, the kind of spheres of reality that contain universal truth, just are, and they have a peaceful linear vibration. That what is so incredible about them is they are beginning to insert themselves into our reality, and most of us don't even know that they're occurring. They just simply crop up, they happen, they begin to be part of the sphere, the existence that we're having. So what many of us are waiting for at the moment is big truths. Okay, we want the world to see the truth. We want to see all the people that are still asleep waking up, having the fog or the veils or the cowls kind of maybe unceremoniously ripped from their third eyes, so they can actually properly see what's going on. And in many cases that's what's happened, or that's what will happen this year. A lot of our brothers and sisters that we're waiting for, the ones that we're kind of sort of saying, well, come on, time to catch up now, their wake up will be a bit of a shock, because suddenly they go from the kind of the sleepiness of the and almost like the comfort and the safety of the matrix, the 3D matrix, and then wallop, the vibration of reality is there in front of them. But for those of us that are on the pathway, that are truth seekers, we're seeking the vibration of authenticity within everything around us, the spoken word, the actions, the construction of the reality that we wish to live in. The vibration of truth is far more subtle. It just is. Okay, so there are many things that are occurring around the world at the moment that we are the kind of the aspect of us that is human, that is grounded on this earth, that's lived this experience. We're shouting for justice. We're saying, well, this is so out of alignment, it's wrong, and we feel an incredible sense of kind of satisfaction when our point is proven and we become right. But the things that are going to occur this year, and I'm watching that wave get very close to me at the moment, the things that we are going to see being revealed this year will simply come into a state of universal truth and reality and alignment with the 5D frequencies without a huge amount of fanfare. They will just simply become part of the conversation. They'll become part of the experience. So while we're looking at this almost perpetual and increasingly desperate carnival of theatrics from 3D, and it is an increasingly desperate carnival, it's becoming so ridiculous now, the antics, that it's impossible to ignore, or we think it's impossible to ignore. And all of these things that are being done or inflicted or occurring that we know are wrong will simply be revealed in truth. Okay, we don't have to shout, we don't have to fight, we don't have to scream for justice or anything like that. We just simply allow the alignment of the vibration of our hearts to bring the truth into reality. And it's a subtle but very, very powerful, very stabilizing energy. So it's almost, it's a bit of a paradox. We've been taught that we need to work, we need to force, we need to grind, we need to charge forwards. But in this particular matter, The truth is it's already been set free. It's already there. It just simply needs to insert itself lovingly into the conversations that are occurring around the world, and that will be that. That is how it's occurring this year. And you'll notice it. Have you noticed maybe in the circumstances where we are looking at situations that are happening and going, oh my God, how can that possibly be? And then something occurs, or words are spoken, or a person steps forwards, or evidence is revealed that just completely shatters the illusion. But it's not done with any fanfare, it just simply is. That is the vibration of fifth dimensional truth. It exists. It doesn't have to be it doesn't have to be projected outwards. There's no emotion behind it. It simply exists on that plane of reality at that heart-based frequency. And that also very much applies to how we, as light workers, as you know, the grounded boots of reality here on this earth at the moment. It also applies to how we speak to one another. And there's been this big theme amongst the light field and the light fraternity for years now, where out of the justification of truth, we speak whatever we are feeling or whatever is on our mind, regardless of how that is taken or impact, or how the impact is occurring within the fields of another person. So whereas the universal truth of everything exists as a frequency, when we interpret it and when we speak it, we need to be aware of the vibration that we are attaching to it, and whether that truth is it got me. It got me. There we go. I'm going to get got again. Oh well. There's absolutely no way of me moving out of the way of that. I've got very wet legs and very wet boots now, but hey. So that again is, where was I? I'm just letting all the water soak out of my boots at the moment. So when we are speaking our personal truth to another person, when we are saying how we see and feel and analyse reality, let's make sure that's coming from the heart, because that is going to be required of us more and more. Are the words kind? Are the words based in love? Or are they being projected out via a personal attachment to an emotion that is being felt, or a circumstance, circuitry or programming, or anything like that? Again, that comes down to personal responsibility. And I do believe that although we have a huge amount of responsibility on our shoulders already, our personal responsibility level grows higher by the minute. Okay, the years of human beings being responsible only for themselves on this planet are well and truly over. Once we've signed up for the light path, we take on that mantle of shared collective responsibility, where we are here to enact upon our soul mission, the directives of the higher self, and assist in the construction of this future gold print. Now, different versions of truth exist for each and every one of us as to what the experience or the end result of that gold print is, but there will be a collective truth within the reality of what we are building. So what does a heart-centered reality look like? I've spoken, or I've mused upon this before, that when we move into the fifth dimensional utopia that we're all waiting for, what's it going to look like? What's it going to feel like? How are we all going to interact with each other? What's business going to be like? What's education going to be like? What's medicine going to be like? will politics exist in any way, shape or form? Because I'll tell you what, it won't exist in the form that it is at the moment. That's one of the most interesting, possibly, you know, the most satisfying things that we can see going on at the moment is the utter distortion that is being shown and revealed in the powers that aren't around the world. And it doesn't matter how many words they speak, how many scenarios they enact or put together, we can see now, and we can see from the heart, and we can see from the third eye, and we can see from all of the other perceptions and versions of our abilities to interpret. And that collective truth will be so beautiful in its revelation this year. And it doesn't have to, it doesn't, and the whole point of the conversation is it doesn't have to be hard work. The truth is there. It's actually, it's you've heard the old adage, like if you want to see or feel the truth, it's been set free already. It's already charging like a golden lion amongst every single aspect of civilization and the societies that we live in. And that truth will reconstruct how we all live together. It won't be based on basically a bunch of lies that have been sewn together in order to create social control. It will be based on what we are creating collectively together as a heart-centered reality. And so this, I've spoken about this many times before as well. There are so many versions of what I kind of see, or there's no other word to explain it, as fear seeding. People are taking what they are being presented with in the media and sharing it out of what they believe is a necessity to wake up people, or to warn them, or to alert them. In actual fact, this is just a very, very effective way of taking a scenario and making us create it. It's that simple. So if you want to create a scenario, if you are, say, a controller of the 3D matrix, and you are well and truly in a state of panic like they are, you are going to throw as many scenarios into the media field as you possibly can to alert the sense of survival and outrage and justification that many of us feel when we can see this. And once it becomes shared, once it becomes spoken, once it becomes passed around, once that message has gone out and been received by others, it becomes part of a manifestation process, which is why, and this is a drum that I've been beating so many times over the last 3 years or so. Do not take anything from the media as gospel to be shared. Whatever they're planning, whatever they're putting together, what dastardly deeds they're doing to the cities in the UK, or the financial situation, or more medical interventions. I'm going to get wet again. Oh, no. all of this that's occurring, all of this that's happening, once we start sharing it, it becomes a powerful situation, and one that we are fueling ourselves. So take it back to the heart centre, ask whether what we are putting out is based in fear or whether it's based in love. And just, I think this boils down to, or concludes in, trusting the universe, okay? Trusting the overall plan that we are all functioning by, and understanding that it's not all going to come to a horrible soul-crushing end, that we are actually assisting and watching and witnessing this planet go through the most magnificent transformation. But depending on what we're tuned into and what we can see, it appears to be a mess. But when you are removing untruths and misalignments and false programs from reality, of course it's going to be messy. Of course it's going to look like it is disruptive, and many of us are going to have to make readjustments, and some of them are not necessarily going to be comfortable to the way that we live our lives in order to move up to that next level. And it all starts with us. So allow that truth to reveal itself organically, naturally, with love, because it's already there, and you will see it just flower within situations around you. Anything that looks like it needs to be stopped, that it needs to be intervened with, it will simply reveal itself from the inside. It's one of the most powerful and most beautiful processes that we're going to witness at this period in time. So that's all from me today. I'm going to go and get dry because I've got very wet feet. But I'm going to be back on Monday, obviously with Meditation Monday. I'll be back in the woods, and then on the 1st of March, Lavisa Altorn and I are coming together for the second part of our World Tree event. And if you were there for the first one, you know that it's going to be a powerful and beautiful event, and it's not too late to join us. So I'll put the link in the text below. Sending you all so much love. I'll see you soon. Bye for now.